Here we go again.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
How are you? You all right?
No.
Good week?
No.
Why?
No.
What's wrong?
I have had the most amount of anxiety I think I've ever had in my life.
Why?
Because so you know me, right? I'm very, I think I'm quite tidy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm quite an organised person.
What, you are now?
What are you saying?
Well, you never used to be when we lived, you know, you had your room at my house.
Yeah, but I think because of you, with your cleaning, I've inherited that.
Have you?
I can't go to bed.
Yeah, I'm the same as that.
No,
That's the same.
I can't do it.
I'm the same. I have to have this kitchen, has to be spotless,
Yeah.
before I go to bed.
Yeah, same.
And you pick that up?
Yeah. Spotless. Like, it has to look like a hotel.
Yeah.
My house has to look like a hotel when I go to sleep.
Yeah, so that when I get up in the morning, I feel like I'm in a hotel.
Yes, but the only time that I'll ever do it is that, like, if you need something to soak, that's the only excuse I'll give myself.
No, that is an excuse.
No, it's not though.
That's an excuse. No one ever needs to, like, that whole thing. Shirley does this to me. Shirley says, I'm just leaving that pan in the sink to soak. No, you just get the Brillo pad out and you clean it.
Yeah, but the Brillo pad to kill the non-stick.
Well, not a pan, but sometimes, like, you know, you put a tray or something. Listen, I'm not saying.
Well, you don't believe in to soak.
No, I think that's rubbish. That's an excuse, right? Don't leave it to soak. Use a bit of elbow grease, get it off.
All right. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying, right? So normally I'm quite good. I'm organised.
Yeah.
I've got all my little things in my house. You know, I actually, like, a lot of my stuff is labelled. I have a labeler around my house.
Hang on a second. Yeah, let's get this right. You have someone, what's she called, a super cleaner or something?
Yeah, super cleaner. Yeah.
Super cleaner to come round and put all your things, your little pants and stuff, into little separate boxes with labels, Roman's pants.
Yeah, her name's Lucy. She's very good, by the way. You can look her up on Instagram. She did a great job.
What's she called? What's her company?
I'll shout out. This isn't an ad, by the way, but she's organised by Lucy. She was very good.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been around your house.
That's what I'm saying. She was very good, right? And I've kept it. No, but the big thing is I've kept it.
Have you?
Like, I've kept it exact same way, right? She comes around your house and she basically, you know, like how you move around your house and you put this here and there.
Every sock is rolled up individually.
They are. Mate, I'm so organised. Like, I'm so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is my story.
Yeah.
So I've got, like, my drawers for everything now.
Yeah.
Right? So if I lose something, it's really rare that I lose something. Anyway, I've got this trip coming up. I've got to go to America.
Yeah.
Right. And work thing. And I was born in the States.
Yeah.
Right. So dual citizen. So that means that I've got two passports.
Yeah.
The problem is with the States is that, like, if it's not like if I forget one, I can use the other one. With this, if you go to America, you have to go in on an American passport.
So you can't use your British passport?
Can't use British passport.
Okay.
Right. So you have to go in on American. Right. One of my American passports expired. Right. And then I had to go, like, on an emergency basis. So I had to get an emergency passport. Then you've got to keep it for a year. Right. So these emergency passports, they last a year. So basically, long story short, I'm only on my emergency US passport.
Yeah.
So I've got this trip coming up. I'm like, oh God, let me just check I've got, everything's sorted.
Yeah.
Because I get, anxious about it. Pull open the travel drawer, not there.
What? It's not in your...
No passport.
Your little box with the label on,
that
passport.
says travel. It says travel on it.
Does it?
Not in there.
It's not in there.
Right. At this point, no.
Yeah.
What's happening?
So you're not going to go, right?
Well, I'm going.
No, but I'm saying you won't be able to go if you don't get a passport.
Right, so I've lost my passport, right? So now I'm panicking. I'm really panicking. I've turned the house upside down, right?
Yeah.
I've looked in every pot drawer, every pant drawer.
Oh, that feeling is horrible.
Horrible, right?
Yeah.
Horrible. And I'm like, this is it. This is the end, right? I'm done here. Look on the American embassy website. Says, you can't get your passport back until flipping 5 to 8 weeks because you don't live in the US.
Oh, because you have to send it away.
You got to send it away.
Yeah,
you got to send it away and then come back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I've got to list it as lost.
Yeah.
So and then I'm thinking, well, I got 3 weeks until I got to do this job, right? So I haven't got that time. So what happened? So I'm panicking, and then I go on my phone and I'm like trying to fill out the form because I'm thinking, let's just get ahead of this and try and do it. So I get on the US embassy website. You got a 14-page thing that you got to fill out.
Yeah.
Right. And they ask you everything.
Everything.
They might as well ask you your blood type.
Yeah, they
right?
do. Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going everything. So they're asking me left, right, what's this? So I filled out this thing. I'm doing it on my phone the whole time, right? I'm panicking. It's about 10 o'clock at night at this point, and 10 o'clock at night. And then as I'm doing it, I'm just thinking, oh God, this is horrible. Get to the last page.
Yeah.
You know, in a bit where it says, okay,
Yeah.
type, press submit.
Yeah.
As I go to press submit, phone dies.
No.
Phone
After
dies.
you've done all of that.
Yeah. Didn't even realise it was on 1%.
So you still haven't got your passport?
Phone dies, right?
Yeah.
Phone dies. And then, right, I've just said to myself, I could have cried there and then, could have cried. I've said to myself, nah, just go to bed. Plug your phone in, go to bed. Right, do this in the morning. So I go to bed and wake up the next day. Whole day I'm thinking, oh God, I can't even bother to do this thing yet. Like, I'll do it in the afternoon. I'll do this form in the afternoon. I'm about to go and do the one show because I'll come home and I'll go and do the one show. So I get in the shower. And then something out of nowhere, brainwave just comes whilst I'm in the shower, bang, it's in your suit pocket, right? Out of nowhere, bang, it's in your suit pocket. To say, fully naked, right, dripping wet, looking like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, you do. You don't care at those moments, do you? Yeah.
Didn't care, right? Got straight out. I think I still had, flipping shampoo in my hair.
Yeah.
Right? Just got out of the shower, like, no towel, nothing, right? And I'll just go to this one suit and I go like that. And I feel the side of it, and I feel that cardboard. You know when you feel the card?
No, you found it.
Slowly pull it out.
No.
Right? But my God. Like, to say, if my phone hadn't died, I would have cancelled the passport, everything like that. So let me tell you, my anxiety is through the roof.
Yeah.
But I got it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Why?
Well, because I would have done the job.
Yeah, you would have done it. But honestly, I'm not to be played with this week.
Oh, man, but you got it. You got your passport back, right?
I was lucky.
You got your passport
back.
back.
Yeah. Why is that the worst feeling? Passport
it is your worst
Also, what a
thing.
stupid thing.
We've all done
what
it.
What a
We've all
stupid
done
thing
it.
a passport is.
I know.
Like, why is 2024?
Yeah.
Why are we carrying around this, like, flipping, might as well be
A bit of paper.
World War II.
I know. Why haven't we got
might as well a little box.
A chip or something underneath our skin
Yeah, exactly.
that you walk through? You don't even have to go through a passport
Don't have to
desk
renew
or
it,
anything.
nothing.
You just walk through, light goes red or green.
Yeah.
Yes
Exactly.
or no, allowed in or not.
I feel like I'm in flipping, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dad's army, like, or a piece of paper like that. What was that thing that
It
Nan and
is
Granddad
that.
used to have? What were those? When they got evacuated?
Yeah,
Those little boxes.
Yeah, the little box.
Why? This feels like we're walking. Why are we still doing
Yeah,
passports?
yeah.
That's anyway. So look, that's my.
It is old fashioned. It is old school.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'd
look,
rather have a chip underneath the skin. That's the way forward.
would you have one of them Elon Musk chips?
What's that? Tell me about it.
Neuralink, he's called it.
And what does it do?
So
I haven't heard about this.
What do you mean you haven't heard about it?
I haven't heard about it.
So obviously, like, AI is going to take over,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
at some point. So the only way to compete with AI is to join
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I think this is the future.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe this. Look, this is a tech conversation for another
Yeah.
day. But basically, long story short, it's a chip that goes into your brain,
Right.
and it links up synapses that aren't necessarily working at their fullest potential.
Right.
And it makes it work at its fullest potential, to the point at which you can actually control tech using just your brain.
Amazing.
And they've done it horrendously. They've done it on monkeys, but that's what they do. All those
Yeah,
tech
yeah,
companies
of
do.
course,
Any type of thing, they do it on animals. Of course
Yeah.
they do. Like, I don't agree with it, but that's what they do.
And what are the monkeys using it for?
So the monkey, so they get this monkey,
Yeah.
and they sit it in front of a screen. There's
What
video.
I'm saying really is how can they tell if it's working or
Well,
not?
I get
on a
this
proper
right. So
monkey?
so they get this monkey,
Yeah.
and I've seen the video. There's video of it,
Yeah.
and the monkey's looking at a screen, and the screen is playing Tetris, right? Not Tetris, Pong.
Yeah, yeah.
It's playing Pong, and they teach this monkey the concept of Pong, and it understands that if it moves it up and down to bounce the ball back, the monkey's got a tube that comes out of this machine, and if it sucks on the tube, it gets like banana smoothie essentially.
Right, yeah,
Right, and if it gets it correctly, it can have the banana smoothie.
Right.
Right. So then what happens is then they keep using the Tetris thing, and then they switch off. They link the Neuralink to the computer,
Right.
right? So the thing in the monkey's brain,
Right.
They switch off the joystick,
Yeah.
right? The monkey's still using the joystick, thinking that it's doing it, but it's moving it.
It's his brain.
It's his brain moving. And then they take it to the next level, right? But, it's still sucking on the banana smoothie thing.
Yeah.
Then they take it to the next level. They take away the joystick. So now the monkey's just sat there, just staring at the screen, smoothie in its mouth, making it work.
Oh, my God.
That's the future.
You do, wouldn't you?
I think so. I think it's the way forward. I honestly, like, when people talk to you about...
You like banana smoothies.
Hey, look, I think we need to talk about tech for another day. But we'll talk about tech for another day. But there was a lovely message. There's a lovely message that came in from quite a few people.
Yeah.
I'll single out Janet here. Thank you for this, Janet. She says, Roman, you must ask your dad about his perception of fame.
Fame.
He says, so many people, including my own parents, had their own thoughts on whether or not it was good or bad for society. And I always wish I'd had more conversations, or my parents had grown up in the Love Island fame era. Please ask him. So I think it is a good subject because it's something that's been a part of our life forever.
Yeah. But let's talk about fame. Fame's a difficult one.
Go on, what do you want to say?
Well, fame's a difficult one to talk about, isn't it? Because I think there's more things wrong with fame than there are. There's more things against it than there are for it.
Okay, I think. Sorry, I'm not shutting you down, but I think you're totally right. I completely agree. In your life, right? Do you think you have had the extremity of not both sides, but I don't know what happened to you that made you change? Because you were seemingly, right, Mum always talks about it.
Yeah.
That, Spandau Ballet, you boys must have been obsessed with it.
Yeah.
You loved the fact that you're famous.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely loved the fact that you're famous. The more people that knew who you were, the better.
Yep.
The more people coming to get autographs, pictures, blah, 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 amazing. Then at what point did you go, nah?
I think when I grew up, and that moment, which we've spoken about on another episode, is the whole brain tumor thing that I went through.
Yeah, so it was that.
It was absolutely that. And there was a moment when, I know you're absolutely right. When I was a kid, I used to be in my bedroom. I used to want fame so much, but I wanted fame through a rock band. I wanted to be a rock star. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be a rock god and up there with the best, and that's what I dreamt about, and the fame that went with it, and that was all something that I wanted. And when it happened, was you're absolutely right. We wanted more and more and more, and that's the whole idea. I mean, what I didn't like about it, the only downside during those times that I remember about when we first started, was I quickly realised that your fame was on a level of what number you were in the charts. So if you were a number 20, you felt like a number 20 person. If you were like number 1, you were on top of the world. Yeah. Number 10, I'm a number 10 person. Yeah. And so that kind of, I realized straight away there was something wrong with that and in how I was feeling, But the time I think I grew up was when I went through that whole brain tumor thing. And it was the morning that I had to check in before the operation. Before they were going to take the brain tumors away. And I realized I was more concerned about the person behind the desk recognizing me, saying, there's Martin Kemp going in for his neurosurgery, than I was about the operation. Yeah. Because I didn't know what I was more embarrassed about. That I was in there. And that moment kind of shook me. And I think that was the moment that I realized, hang on a second, I wish I wasn't famous. It was the first time in my life that I could remember that I wished I wasn't famous. Yeah. When I was checking in for that operation.
Yeah. I think
and so that was my turning point.
I've always had, I think I have a very negative view of fame. And people, like, the annoying thing is, right?
Where'd you get that from then?
You have to think back, right?
Yeah.
Think back, because you have to think of me as, you and I have had the complete different childhoods.
Yeah.
I've grown up going to restaurants. Imagine as a kid, like, imagine as a kid, everyone shares your parent. You don't own that.
I know, and I realised even when you were a kid, I realised that was going on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't own it, and what I mean as well is that like you think like it never used to bother Harley again. My sister, she's amazing. Like she's such a free spirit and all that type of stuff. So stuff doesn't bother her. But I remember so vividly being at dinners. We used to go to like Pizza Express or something, and me constantly saying, "They're looking at us. They're looking at us. They're looking at Dad. They're looking at you, or Mum. They're looking at you. That person stared at you. That person stared at you," and that used to bug the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated it. I hate this feeling that you're being like watched and like judged and all this type of stuff. And like, obviously, you were, an adult, so you were just like, don't worry about it, all this type of stuff.
Well, I was an adult, but I was thinking about don't worry about it, like exactly like you say. But I was also I think you've hit the nail on the head there, right?
Yeah.
With fame, it's about you constantly being judged.
Yeah,
constantly.
of course. Yeah, but that's why I say like. That's why when you see like now, when you see these like, what do you make of that like Love Island style fame?
At the moment, I think in the world we live in at the moment, I think if that's what kids want and that is the way that you think you can get that fame, then I think it's a shortcut to making a lot of money. And I think if you can do it right and treat it right and understand it well, then you can make a lot of money from it. And I am completely against this whole thing that they haven't paid their dues, they're not doing a proper job.
No,
they're not.
Do what you want. Yeah.
It is a job. It is a job. Fame is a job now, and that's what it's turned into. I'm not into one of those things. I'm not that sort of guy that thinks a band can only be really successful if it's spent 10 years traveling around in a white transit van to get to where it wants to be. If there is a shortcut available, then why not use the shortcut? That's my point of view. But I feel sorry for the young kids on Love Island and stuff in some way, because they see fame as like the be all and end all. They think they only see the good side of it, and there's so many things that don't work well with fame, don't sit well with me.
Like what?
I think it's the idea of always having to have two personalities. One is the personality that people know, and then the other personality is the person you are at home. Well, most people aren't like that at all. They're just one personality.
Yeah, but it must be so nice for you now, though, because you are that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a relief for me.
It never used to be like that when you were like
it didn't.
Horrible.
Well, but when I grew up, what was behind fame when I grew up was there was a certain amount of mystique that went with famous people. You only showed them little glimpses of your life behind the scenes, but now...
Well, because the only time you could see them is in a magazine that got printed monthly.
Or on television, on Top of the Pops, at 3 minutes every 2 weeks. But now fame has completely opened up, where people open up their doors at the drop of a hat. They invite everybody in the world into their homes, where when I grew up, you didn't do that. And so there was a certain amount of mystique that you could carry with it. But nowadays there isn't.
My biggest question, I think, with you, how have you maintained a celebrity relationship, a famous relationship?
With Mum?
Yeah. So I'm not talking about your thing with Mum.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? You worried about? Do you think about how much you want to let people in, or do you know what I mean? Like when you were like kids and that, did you want it to be out there that you were dating, or did you not care or anything like that?
Oh no, I didn't care. No, I was absolutely happy with it. Yeah. You can look back into pictures of me and Mum together. Listen, me and Mum were in love from day one. So why not put it out there? We couldn't hide it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And even though there's that thing in Spinal Tap when do you know that scene when the girlfriend comes and they're on tour and his mate goes, What's she doing then?
Yeah.
She dropping something off?
Yeah.
And it's that moment, you know, when we were in the band, we used to go through that moment a lot.
Yeah.
You know, what's she doing? She's dropping something off.
Yeah.
But no, me and Mum were in love to the point where we couldn't hide it and we didn't care.
Yeah.
Which I think was really nice looking back. But being famous, I think that the only safety net that you have is that rock, like your relationship. And you have to have that. A touchstone.
So, like, okay, so me going into my life, would you advise me to not care about showing my relationship within fame and merging that with fame, or do you think I should keep it private?
No, I think you should be as real as you want to be. I don't know. It's a tough question, that, because on one part of it, I can see the idea of keeping it away from everybody else and not telling everybody else. But on the other side of it, you might be running yourself into a trap where you're splitting yourself too much and you're not being one person.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem with being famous is that you end up as two different people. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, I mean, it's funny, when I was in EastEnders and I was playing that Steve Owen character, I was kind of like, my personality felt like I was completely split. Because you spend so much time, I was spending more time as Steve Owen than I was as Martin Kemp.
Yeah.
And part of the problem I was having, my life was easier as Steve Owen than it was as Martin Kemp.
Yeah.
At the point. And that's when I realised that fame was fucking me up.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Well, our biggest thing, right? The biggest, I think one of my biggest takes on fame as well, and this is where I think I'm like so grateful that I've been able to see it.
Yeah.
Right. I have a very view on, like, people may think one version of me and they probably are very wrong.
Yeah.
Right. I imagine my thing is always about, like, you know, I could not care less. I promise you, I could not care less about the fame side of it. I'm not a party person. I don't like going to places.
Yeah.
I find it really odd and uncomfortable when people come up to me and stuff like that. I like it. I really respect it, but that's just me as a person. Like, I find it strange.
Yeah, but you're really good with it.
No, I'm good at it, but there's a difference between, I'm not like, oh, get away from me. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but like, it's a part of my life that I'm a bit afraid of. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid of that side.
Yeah.
All I'm doing in my life is I'm doing the only thing that people have told me that I'm really good at, which is what I do, right? It's hosting, right?
Yeah.
But one of the cons of that job, you know, you've got pros and cons to everything. One of the cons of that is that you have that side.
Yeah.
But I also think the reason I have that is because there's no goal for me, because I've seen, like, you got to think, right, if I'm growing up as well, like, you know what I said earlier, like, you see all that stuff, like people staring, etc. I also was able to see fame at differing levels, right? So I would have, you know, you and mum as my mum and dad,
Yeah.
right? And that's famous. But then we'd have friends and family who are flipping
Even more
George
famous.
Michael.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that is like shut down airport. I call that shut down airport.
It was.
Level of fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but that put, in a way, George's fame
put me off.
mine into perspective.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. But it did for me, because what I realized is that, like, despite his level of fame,
yeah.
there wasn't necessarily endless happiness there, and it wasn't like, do you know what I mean? Like,
listen,
it's obvious to see. Like,
yeah.
you know, it's there
George
for everyone to tell.
struggled with it.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And it's like, but like, you know, I saw the things that really meant the most to him were his dinners with mum, and you know what I mean, and with his friends and things like that. And so I think it put into perspective the most important things for me, which I'm very lucky to have. But what that does is it just mean, okay, so what's the goal then? So is the goal in my career, is it just my own personal career goals, or is it, you know, because some people measure it as fame. Some of the people that are in my industry are just like, I want to be more and more famous. How do I get more famous? For me, it's, you know, hands up, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's, I want to make as much money as possible so that I can give my family a nice life, and I can go on these trips that I want to go on and all this stuff.
The way you have to look at it, and I think that is the absolute right attitude to have, the way you have to look at it is that fame is a ticket to get a better job, to get those jobs that you want to do within entertainment, within the world that you live. Fame is a ticket, and that's all it is. And if you look at it in any other way, then it goes wrong. It's wonky. It doesn't make sense. You know, it's just a ticket to get a better job.
one of the things that comes along with being famous is people looking into your life.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens.
Scrutiny.
Yeah. What's the worst headline you've ever seen about yourself? Do you remember?
I've been really lucky, Ro. I've been really lucky.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with headlines coming against me, you know.
Does it kill you, though, if you see like a bad review of stuff?
No, it doesn't, because I know it's bad already. No, it doesn't. To be honest, you know, I don't do that whole thing. I like to work. I like to do the job, and I like to walk away from it and leave it behind. If the reviews are bad, then they're bad. But don't read the bad ones. Just read the good ones. You know.
But then, what's your view on trolls then?
But there's always going to be trolls. It doesn't matter if you've made it doesn't matter if you've made the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right? There will be people out there that will troll you and tell you it's no good and rubbish.
Yeah.
Just for their own pleasure.
Yeah, I know.
To get response.
Yeah.
There will always be that. It doesn't matter if it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. But like do you read bad comments about yourself?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah,
See, I don't know why I have this. Maybe I probably is down to you because Mum hates it. Mum would.
Mum
never.
hates it. Yeah.
My mum is like the worst person.
But Mum was. You got to remember, Yog was her best friend, right? Yog's the whole idea of anything to do with press.
Yog is George, by the way.
Yeah, Yog. Yeah. Just don't do it. Right. It was more about saying no than it was about saying yes. And
why? Because he was so scared of it.
Well, one, because he was so scared of it, and because two, he didn't have to do it.
Right.
Because he could rely on his talent.
Yeah.
Right. And just put out another brilliant record, sounding brilliant.
Get a load of money.
And everyone love it.
Yeah.
But Mum comes from that Yog school of thinking where you just say no to everything. And so me and Mum constantly argue. I say, I think I should do this. It'd be good. It'd be good if I do this bit of press. It'd be good if I do something on television. Mum would say, no, don't do anything. Just stay away from it. But it doesn't work like that anymore.
No. But like, but you said it as well. Like going from George, right? I remember the biggest, most angry I've ever seen him in my life was when Mum said that we might be moving to LA. And I remember it getting so heated that he left.
What?
Our
dinner?
house. Yeah. I remember watching him leave.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Because Mum said that she was going to take us all back to Los Angeles.
That's right.
And we were going to grow up there. And he was so angry that he said about me and Harley growing up in that world, that fame thing.
Yeah.
He was so angry that they left. And I remember that. And I think part of me, you know, like, I just remember him saying, "Shirley, it'll fuck them up," all this type of stuff. I remember hearing it.
Yeah.
And like, I think I have a fear around it a little bit more. But my thing as well, like, people always say to me, "How do I deal with trolls?" Right, and all these types of things. Yeah. I love it.
What, trolls?
I love it.
How do you deal with it then?
I love it. The only thing is the funniest thing.
Not really.
That is the funniest thing. Like, imagine your life is you go online to like try and like say horrible stuff about people. Like, imagine that's your life.
But that's what they do.
I like it. If it's funny, like, it's the best thing ever. Like,
it's banter, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, no one online can kill me better than my personal mates can kill me.
Yeah.
I come from the most kill or be killed group of mates that, like, you couldn't get close.
Yeah.
Like, you could not get close to what they say to me, right? And it's like, you know, Matt, my best mate Matt, right?
Yeah.
You know, ever since I started in this journey, right, of like work and, you know, being part of the public eye and blah, 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 he's always told me that I was obviously a Z-list celebrity, right? and he's rammed that home, right? So much so that
but you've gone up a bit now. Well, you're a good ex now.
So, but he changes a letter in the alphabet. So I'm saved in his phone as Ro and then brackets letter in the alphabet, right? As how he thinks I'm doing, right? I'm only at flipping P. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so like, you know, when I see these things, also I think the best, like, sometimes the thing is as well is that, and I like being open with it. My favorite movie of all time, right? Well, it's not of all time. That's a big shout. It's not of all time. Like, one of my favorite movies ever is 8 Mile.
Right? Oh yeah, great,
Eminem.
Yeah.
Right. And in the last scene in 8 Mile, and I tell this story all the time, and this is my best thing for anyone that is listening to this that could potentially be famous in the future. Yeah. This is my only bit of tip that I took from this film. At the end of 8 Mile, right, he has a rap battle, and he's the most like laughable. He's the joke of the town, right?
Yeah.
At this point, he's choked on every rap battle, all this type of stuff, like all this bad stuff happened to him, and he stands up there, and you're meant to like diss the person that's in front of you, right? In a rap battle, you look at the person and you just kill them. You absolutely kill them, and instead, what he does is he just turns to the crowd and he raps about himself, and he says all the bad stuff about himself. And he's like, I'm this, I live in this. So he roasts himself to hell, right? Roasts himself. And then he throws the mic at the other guy, and he throws the mic at the other guy, and he goes, here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
Love it.
Right?
I really like that.
And the guy says nothing.
Yeah.
The guy says absolutely, he just stands there and he's like, I've got nothing to say.
I really like that.
And I've based my career off that. And I'm not joking. Genuinely, like that is how I run my career.
You take the mickey out yourself all the time, and I love that.
You want to talk about fame? Yeah. This was the last year. I put this on my Instagram. I said because everyone, it was New Year's Eve and everyone was posting like their best bits of the year.
Yeah.
And so I was like, classic me thing.
Yeah.
Kill myself.
Yeah.
I was like,
before anyone else does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So I wrote, as everyone else is posting their best bits of the year, here's the worst headlines I had this year. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And what were they?
These are the worst headlines. This is only this year.
Yeah.
Right? Roman Kemp in turmoil after eating cream egg worth £10,000. You know, so many people thought that was bad.
Was that true?
On my life, Dad. So many people
So
said
they were looking for a cream egg that was what? A certain colour?
Half white chocolate, half milk chocolate.
Right.
Right? And thing is, they had sent us like some packs of things, right? And I didn't know anything about it. And then I've opened this thing, it's that one, and I've said to my mates, I was like, well, I messed up there. I remember saying, well, someone's getting fired.
Yeah.
Someone's getting fired. Look at that. Right? And I've eaten it. And not only that, I've eaten it, I've thrown a wrapper away. Right? So and then it was awful. But people thought I got paid for that. I didn't get paid for it.
But
I lost money.
True.
It's on my life, Dad. I did not. That was not. I do a lot of ads. That was not an ad.
Yeah.
Right? And it says that Anguish DJ. Turns out there isn't a prize attached to that egg. So that was one. Another headline I loved: Roman Kemp left red face as he's caught fully naked on all fours in epic blunder.
Where was that?
Roman Kemp has compared himself to E.T. after being caught completely naked while attempting to enjoy a relaxing break in Costa Rica, which didn't go to plan. Basically, I got naked in a river.
Yeah.
I thought, get one with nature.
Yeah.
Right, so I jumped into this hot spring naked.
Yeah.
And I had my mud bath and all that type of stuff. And I've put my pants on the side, and I didn't realise it. The downstream tide was pretty strong.
Yeah.
And it's took the pants.
So you got no clothes?
Took the pants, and I've realised. So now I'm swimming. Right? Now I'm swimming, trying to get. So I've got these pants, right? And I'm fucking going, right? I'm going.
Yeah.
And I just get it in time. Then the worst thing is, as I'm standing up, going to put on the pants, I look up and there's full tourists just looking at me.
No.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, let me tell you, it's a hot
Did they
spring.
recognise
It's
you?
a hot spring, but it still looked like it was cold. They're the worst bits. Like, they are the worst bits.
Yeah.
What about this one, right? This is another headline.
Yeah.
I had been furrowing and dousing my brow with an old man's pants, says Roman Kemp.
I love this story. You got to tell me this story again. I love this.
Right, so basically, I had gone to Korea, and I'd gone to Korea
because he's recently, right?
Yeah, so I'd gone to Korea, and I ended up going to a spa, and I thought, this is nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and just do what the Koreans do, and they were like, we're big into sauna culture and all that type of stuff. Much like kind of Europeans.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I go to this spa, and I get into the changing room. Everyone's naked, and there's a moment in guys' thing. I mean, look, we've spoken about you. You can't even go to a urinal, right? But I'm thinking, look, these are lovely Korean fellas.
Yeah.
No one knows who I am, right? So anyway, towel off. I'm walking around, and I'm looking around, and I see, as I walk in there, I see some bits on the side. Right? So, and what I mean by bits is I see like there's some salt there.
Yeah.
Like you know, the Himalayan salt.
All the stuff, all the bits and pieces.
Yeah. Himalayan salt.
Candle.
Yeah. But like scrubs.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the scrubs as well, one of them was like some toothpaste.
Yeah.
So I've got the toothpaste out and I've started like, you know, applying it onto myself. Right. And because, you know, it's good for your skin and all that type of stuff, dries you out. So I'm rubbing the toothpaste all in my face. Anyway, I start walking around. I'm sat in this sauna with a bunch of these old fellas. Well, I was the youngest person by far, right? Proper old fellas.
Yeah.
And no one's got any towels or anything like that. And I've realised no one else has got the toothpaste on. Right? No one's sat with the toothpaste. And then as I've gotten out, I've realised one bloke's just brushing his teeth. So that was just there if you wanted to brush your teeth. Right? So now I'm thinking, oh no, I've got this toothpaste on me, right? I've got this.
Was it burning?
I've got this it wasn't minty, but I've got all this toothpaste on my face and all that type of stuff.
Did you put it around your balls and stuff?
No, just like on my
Because it would
arms.
sting like crazy.
No, like that shower gel. No, it was just like on my shoulders and that. And then
right,
I put it on my
yeah,
face.
yeah.
And anyway, so then I've come out the sauna, and I'm thinking, oh shit, better get this off my face, right?
Yeah.
And then so I've gone over to the door, and as I've gone to the door, I've seen like you know, like white linen-y looking things. But like, you
towels.
Know, towels. So like
right?
they look like hand towels.
Yeah, they're called towels.
But they look like little hand towels. They didn't.
I know what you
cotton.
mean.
They were like little linen
yeah,
things, right?
Yeah.
Hand towels.
Little dust cloths.
Yeah. So I'll go over and grab one of them. I wet my face. I'll start wiping my face down. I start wiping all this toothpaste off, right? As I've wiped the final bit, I've opened what I think is this towel, and it's these pair of old flipping Y fronts, right? Y fronts. I put them back, and as I go back in the room, the old fella in the sauna comes out, takes his pants, and goes.
No.
Joke's on him though. He's the one with minty balls. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, with me, like, there's a lot of stories out there.
Love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
So there's pros and cons to fame because you can hide in countries like that, but every now and again it's good to just tell it.
Well, listen, I think you've changed it round. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about some good things that you get from fame.
Yeah.
We've had like 45 minutes or 40 minutes of the bad things. Let's have 5 minutes of the good things. What do you get from fame that's really good?
What do you get from fame that's really good?
Yeah. Meeting your heroes.
Yeah, you get to meet your heroes.
You get to meet a lot of good people, don't you?
Yeah. You do some wild stuff.
You do.
You do some wild. That's what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong. This is not a thing of like, two famous people moaning about.
I would never like to see it like that.
No,
you know?
not at all. Like
because listen. That is why, in the first place, you know, a lot of people ask me, "Are you not worried about your boy getting into being famous, or into getting into the business?" And I say, no, because I have had the most incredible time, incredible life. You know, from the very first time when I signed a record deal with the band when I was 18 years old, and the very first plane that I got on to go and do the promo, right? I was sitting next to this record company guy. And back then, in the early 80s, it was kind of, the record company was left over from the 70s, right? So it was that kind of business.
Yeah.
And the very first plane I got on to go to Belgium, right? The record company guy, he lets the table down, right? Chops out a line of cocaine.
Oh my God.
Next to me, sitting next to me. I'm 18 years old. I'm looking at him thinking, is this it? Is this life? Is this what I'm in?
On a plane.
On a plane.
Yeah.
On a plane. And that was my introduction into entertainment business.
Yeah.
And listen, and it was fun. I never indulged in that. I was just sat there and watched him. But what it was like him saying to me, this is the world that you're in now. This is absolutely mad. And it is. But it's a lot of fun, and you can meet people that are good. You get, you know, there's some.
No, you enjoy the ride.
Perks.
There's great. There's so many perks. But we're just talking about the side of it that sometimes people don't really see.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, that was a great question. That's a topic,
really good.
That's a topic that we can talk about for a long time. But thank you so much once again for listening. If you have a question that you want us to talk about, or you know, a thing that you wish you had asked your parent if they're not here anymore, that you you want that type of info, please do let me know. But thanks for listening. From me and my dad, to never miss an episode, subscribe, follow the podcast wherever you're listening right now. You'll be alerted as soon as there's a new one. Leave a review, Dad.
Leave a review.
Yeah, go on. Say it.
What?
5 stars.
Leave a 5-star review, and then what?
If you like it.
If you like
or
it.
not.
Or not.
How do you know?
What? Leave a 5-star review if you like it or not.
Why if you or not?
Well, because if not, then you get your mates to waste their time.
Exactly.
Hey!
Perfect. There you go. Well done. Well done. We'll be back next time. Bye.
This has been an Insanity Studios production.